Now, way back in February, before the election was called, I warned that Labor had made a big mistake in joining with Kerryn Phelps and the Greens to pass the medevac laws. I warned it would undermine their election favouritism because it would demonstrate that Labor had learned nothing on border protection. Well, they're still thumbing their noses at the wishes of the Australian people and the hard lessons of their own tragic experience. Kristina Keneally, their Home Affairs spokesperson, is digging Labor into a bigger hole on these issues every day. Her wild claims about plane arrivals have been exposed for the desperate attempt at false equivalence that they always were, with only a tiny proportion of the millions of people who come here by plane revealed to be deliberately trafficked here. When I say a tiny proportion, I mean fewer than 70 out of almost 9 million arrivals. That's 0.00078%. So Keneally is just wrong. She's fear-mongering and she's wrong. And mainstream voters know it. But she's also championed these medevac laws and she refuses to back down on them, even though we now know that of the 135 people who have used the medevac laws to get to Australia, none of them are still in hospital. Only 13 of them ever darkened the doors of a hospital, and 5 even refused to have treatment. As expected, these laws just created a backdoor way to get into this country. And as I warned at the time, they're not about compassion or medical treatment, they're about rorting our legal system. And as expected, they helped to trigger more people smuggling boats that were intercepted and turned around during and after the election. Labor ought to admit its mistakes before Keneally makes any more errors and does any more damage to our border protection regime, not to mention Labor's political fortunes.